Good evening. Today I would like to read Wild Grapes by Robert Frost. But first, I would like to share that I grew up in New Hampshire, not far from the home of Robert Frost. I can remember as a child playing in the woods with my sisters and my cousins at the end of each summer. One summer, we found a cluster of grapevines and pulled them out of the earth so we could braid a Tarzan swing, which we proceeded to mount over a vine. This swing provided hours of entertainment for my cousins and I, and kind of set the tone for the relationship my siblings and I would have with these cousins for the rest of our lives. Now I will begin my reading of Wild Grapes by Robert Frost. What tree may not the fig be gathered from? The grape may not be gathered from the birch? It's all you know, the grape, or know the birch. As a girl, gathered from the birch myself, equally with my weight in grapes one autumn, I ought to know what tree the grape is fruit of. I was born, I suppose, like anyone, and grew up to be a little boyish girl my brother could not always leave at home. But that beginning was wiped out in fear the day I swung suspended with the grapes, and was come after like Eurydice, and brought down to safety from the upper regions. And the life I now live is an extra life. I can't waste as I please on whom I please. So if you see me celebrate 2 birthdays and give myself out of 2 different ages, one of them 5 years younger than I look, one day my brother led me to the glade, where a white birch he knew stood all alone, wearing a thin headdress of pointed leaves, and heavy on her heavy hair behind, against her neck, an ornament of grapes. Grapes. I knew grapes from having seen them last year, one bunch of them, and there began to be bunches all around me, growing in white birches, the way they grew around Leif the Lucky German, mostly as much beyond my lifted hands, though, as the moon used to seem when I was younger, and only freely to be had for the climbing. My brother did the climbing, and at first threw me down grapes to miss and scatter, and hunt for in the sweet fern and hardback, which gave him some time to eat for himself, but not so much perhaps as a boy needed. So then, to make me wholly self-supporting, he climbed still higher and bent the tree to earth, and put it in my hands to pick up my own grapes. Here, take a treetop. I'll get down another. Hold on with all your might. When I let go. I said I had the tree. It wasn't true. The opposite was true. The tree had me. The minute it was left with me alone, it caught me up as if I were a fish, and it was the fish pole. So I translated to loud cries from my brother, "Let go! Don't you know anything, girl? Let go!" But I, with something of a baby grip acquired ancestrally in just such trees, with wilder mothers than are wildest now, hung babies out on branches by the hands, to wash, to dry, or tan. I don't know which. You'll have to ask it, evolutionist. I held on uncomplainingly for my life. My brother tried to make me laugh to help me. "What are you doing up there in those grapes? Don't be afraid. A few of them won't hurt you. I mean, they won't pick you if you don't them." Much danger of my picking anything. By that time, I was pretty well reduced to a philosophy of hang and let hang. "Now, you know how it feels," my brother said, "to be a bunch of fox grapes, as they call them. That when it thinks it has escaped a fox by growing where it shouldn't, on a birch, where a fox wouldn't think to look for it, and if he looked and found it, couldn't reach it. Just then come you and I to gather. Only you have the advantage of the grapes. In one way, you have one more stem to cling by, and promise more resistance to the picker. One by one, I lost off my hat and shoes, and still I clung. I let my head fall back and shut my eyes against the sun, my ears against my brother's nonsense. Drop, he said. I'll catch you in my arms. It isn't far. Stated in lengths of him, it might not be. Drop, or I'll shake the tree and shake you down. Grim silence on my part as I sank lower, my small wrists stretching till they showed the banjo strings. Why, if she isn't serious about it, hold tight a while till I think about what to do. I'll bend the tree down and let you down by it. I don't know much about the letting down, but once I felt ground with my stocking feet and the world came revolving back to me, I know I looked long at my curled up fingers before I straightened them and brushed off the bark. My brother said, Don't you weigh anything? Try to weigh something next time so you won't be run off by birch trees into space. It wasn't my weighing, it wasn't my not weighing anything so much as my not knowing anything. My brother had been nearer right before. I had not taken the first step in knowledge. I had not learned to let go with my hands. And still I have not learned to with my heart, and have no wish to with my heart, nor need. That I can see, the mind is not the heart. I may yet live as I know others live, to wish in vain, to let go with the mind, of cares at night to sleep, but nothing tells me that I need learn to let go with the heart. And that concludes my reading of Wild Grapes by Robert Frost.